but this is where we're finding the area of concern. The movement is to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour, and this is just one of what we expect to be a fairly busy afternoon and evening over the southern and southwestern part of the state. Here's a better look at it. This is our reflectivity mode showing you the very heavy rainfall, the lightning, and also the possibility of spin near Oak Haven, Arkansas. Here are the areas that will be affected downwind. 426D and Garlandville at 431. Prescott, you're in the path here, 436. You've got Redland, you've got Bernie, Arkansas, and I believe that's Gurdon, Arkansas as well. The movement to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. We expect that we'll probably see a few more tornado warned storms tonight, and we're going to keep a close eye over southeast Arkansas. They have the best ingredients for the supercell thunderstorms that we could see. Strong thunderstorm or strong tornadoes, EF2 and stronger, could occur. Here's a better perspective of where that area of rotation is located along Highway 30 and 299. Here's Oak Haven, here's Emmett, and Prescott is upstream. If you live in Prescott or if you have family that lives in and around the Prescott area, it's best to go ahead and make sure you find your safe place. Remember what you need to take to your safe place, something to put over your head, a quilt. You could put a pillow, a bike helmet for the kiddos. Spring breaks occurring. Kids are at home. Some of them might be home alone while moms and dads are at work. Again, this is a tornado warned storm that's in southwest Arkansas at this time for Hempstead and Nevada County until 4:45 p.m. This red shaded area, this polygon, is who is under this warning. More specifically from near Oak Haven up I-30 to near Prescott. Here's Pleasant Hill, here's Redland, Arkansas, and then you get up toward the Gurdon area in Clark County. In Clark County, you want to go ahead and make sure you take appropriate action now in preparation as this cell continues to hold together. We've seen a gradual increase in these cells over the last 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to bring in Nathan Scott, who's been watching things for us all day as well. Nathan, we're going to be here with folks tonight. And yeah, March Madness is coming up a little bit later on, and we're going to keep a close eye on the weather this evening.
Tom, it's a short window of opportunity for these storms to rotate and produce tornadoes. It's over the next few hours, probably until about 7 or 8 o'clock. So folks to the south and east of Little Rock really need to be on your guard because you've seen warmer temperatures. You're in the atmosphere where it's very ripe and prime for the potential of these storms to rotate and produce tornadoes. Anywhere along this line is what we're watching. Here at Little Rock, we're stable at this time. Temperatures are into the 60s, but there's a front just down to our south and it's trying to make its way off to the north. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning, so nothing has been confirmed just yet, but it is definitely showing some rotation. Once again, as we take a look at the winds within this system, you can clearly see there's a little bit of rotation right there, very close to Oak Haven, just to the east of Oak Haven, about to make its way right over Interstate 30. And then once again, Prescott, you're in the line of fire. If there is something happening at this time, that rotation is going to go right over the city of Prescott and could drop a quick tornado at any moment. So make sure that you're going to the lowest level of a sturdy structure. You want to separate yourself from the storm with as many interior walls as possible, interior closet, interior bathroom. Stay away from windows, doors, anything that leads to the exterior, because those are going to be the first places that see damage if there is a tornado happening at this time. But it's something we got to watch, Tom, because these storms are now moving into an atmosphere that's not only very warm, very humid, but also we've got the wind energy about 5,000 feet above the surface that will allow these storms to rotate.
Yeah, some very strong rotation. I wanted to give a community a shout out here. The community of Deanne, which is not really picked up well here, but that's near Emmett, Arkansas. That's where the center of circulation is with this particular cell. We could get Storm Track 11 ready and show you where, with our rotation tool, where the strongest area of rotation is located. And right now, that is just to the east or to the west of Emmett, Arkansas, over Deanne, Arkansas. And the movement is to the northeast. It's going to travel along I-30, get awfully close to Prescott here over the next few minutes or so. If you live in Nevada County, live up toward the Clark County area, it's a good idea. Even Gurdon, it's okay right now to go ahead and prepare, because the atmosphere, as Nathan mentioned, it's going to be really juiced up and ready to go. We're getting those strong winds aloft, and now we're beginning to see these supercells start to develop. Now, this is in a line, and there will be more cells that develop out ahead of that line a little later this evening over southeast Arkansas. This is southwest Arkansas, just to give you some perspective. perspective, here's Prescott, there's Clark County, you've got Gurdon, Arkadelphia, and by the way, Clark County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's this part of southeast Arkansas that things will really begin to come together over the next hour or two. You can see that line embedded within that line, supercell thunderstorm here that could produce a tornado. Got some pretty strong rotation, Nathan, over here in the Deanne area that's in northern parts of Hempstead County. There's Nashville over in Pike County. Again, this cell moving to the northeast at 50. That's where we've got the red polygon. That warning is in effect until 4:45, so over the next 20 minutes. With these cells really moving quickly, you don't have as much time to prepare. So go ahead, get your safe place ready, get your make sure you got your phone charged up. Interior room, closet, something to put over your head just in case. And there you go, right there. There's the strongest area of concern. Highway 332 near I-30. This cell lifting to the northeast in Prescott. It's going to be close to you here in the next few moments.
And we can go to Storm Track 11 if that's possible, guys. I'm going to take a look at the NROT, or when we're looking at the just rotation within this cell. It was more defined just a couple scans ago, right there close to Deanne and also Oak Haven, but now we've kind of lost that green. So that could be an indication this is starting to weaken somewhat. I'm going to take a look at the debris detector, and I'm not seeing anything of too much concern with that. There's not too much lowering of the CC or where it's saying, okay, there's definitely some debris being lofted. There's a little bit of lowering pretty close to Deanne. But if we match that up with the actual winds, it's close, but it's not really there. Taking a look at what's known as the spectrum width, and I know there's a lot of colors on here, but this basically tells us what's going on within the cell with more information. So we're looking at the yellows, Tom, and where there's yellow, that tells us where there's more chaotic flow or winds going in different directions within this cell. We're not seeing too much of that where it matches where the actual rotation is. So that's some good news. Right now, I don't think it's producing anything at this time, but certainly it's still rotating. You have to take it seriously. People in Prescott definitely need to be in their safe place and take their tornado precautions at this time because time is running out. Yeah,
Prescott, it's not far from you, probably within the next couple of minutes. The area of rotation, we've not yet seen a confirmed report of a tornado with this, but strong enough rotation. And this is more than likely, so far, the most impressive cell we've had this afternoon. So once we get beyond Prescott, let's look up the road. Gurdon, you would be next. You're out of the warning now, but wouldn't be surprised. These storms are not really weakening. They're beginning to come together as we thought they would over southwest and southeast Arkansas later this evening. Same areas under a tornado watch, but as soon as the line in this area moves out of your region, then the severe weather threat will certainly drop off. Severe thunderstorm warning to the north. That does include Clark County and Hot Spring County, also over to parts of Grant County. But that tornado warned storm now is getting awfully close to Prescott, and we are seeing some strong rotation. No confirmed report just yet of a tornado, but we've got strong enough rotation to where we have to keep a close eye on it. Take it seriously and find your safe place right there. And notice we've got a lineup of storms just to the north there from close to Hot Springs, west of Malvern. These are non-tornadic yet, but they could show some signs of some very strong winds. We're looking at a couple of areas here. You can see the strong wind field with this particular area that's near Mayflower, south toward Perrin. And then when you get down to the stronger supercell thunderstorms where you have a little more potential for the atmosphere to show some signs of spin, that's where you're getting that. And that's over toward, the Prescott area near Emmett, Arkansas. Nathan, it looks like it's beginning to elongate somewhat, so it may become more of a damaging wind threat.
Yeah, it does certainly look like a possibility, Tom. And then also I want to pan up here to Arkadelphia, Malvern, because you are under severe thunderstorm warning at this time. That's primarily for some gusty winds. A wall of wind moving through that part of the area could produce wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and that can bring down some trees because the ground's so saturated, the roots don't have much soil to hold on to when it's so saturated, so trees could come down this area. That could knock down some power lines as well, and there could also be maybe some hail down to quarter size moving through Hot Spring County and also into Saline County. Once again, around the metro, our atmosphere is much more stable. Our tornado threat here in the metro is pretty low because the temperatures are cool. They're into the 60s. Different story, though, down to the south. Let's go back over to Max 1. And let's just take a look at the bigger view here, because if you are to the west of this line, so Montgomery County, Polk County, Howard, Sevier, Little River counties, you're done with the threat of severe weather. It's all locations to the east, and especially that sector of the state, Pine Bluff, Stuttgart, Risen, Fordyce, Monticello, Dumas, Greenville, Ashley County, Bradley, Calhoun counties, El Dorado. Those are the parts of the state that have the highest risk of severe weather as we go into the next few hours. So you got to watch out for this line, because this line will most likely continue to intensify, start to rotate, and there's the potential of tornadoes with the line, and then any storms that develop ahead of that line. We've got to watch out for storms trying to move in here from Louisiana.
Yeah, this cluster in Louisiana is of close, getting closer to Arkansas, of main concern as it moves to the northeast. If you live in Calhoun, Bradley County, Union County, you can pick us up. Cleveland County again. We were saying that this is the area of Arkansas that has the greatest threat of tornadoes. There's a moderate risk here over the southeast. Doesn't mean that we may not pick one up along that line that's to the west. We are concerned about that, and these individual cells that kind of happen to break off from the main line could pose a threat. But this is the time now to prepare. 4:30. Hopefully we can get this warning out of the way, get into the 5 o'clock news hour without any more warnings. But I think we're going to begin to see more storms develop out ahead of that line this afternoon and this evening. It's very warm. The atmosphere is very buoyant. You've got strong winds of loft. You've got all the ingredients for severe weather. Here's the tornado watch. Thank you for pulling that up. Tornado watch until 7 o'clock tonight for all the counties in yellow. As far to the north is Saline County. So Benton and Bryant, you're in the tornado watch, all the way down to Arkadelphia, and of course Prescott there, that's under that tornado warned storm currently. And to the west, as Nathan said, I think the threat for severe weather is coming to an end over in Polk, Montgomery, Howard, Sevier, Little River counties. It's just this pocket here of thunderstorms that could produce a tornado. There it is. Now it's pretty much closing in on Prescott, Arkansas. If you can pick us up in Prescott, you live along I-30, anywhere near, this is where we're finding the strongest area of rotation. No confirmed report just yet of a tornado, but still, go ahead. Take your precautions seriously. We talk about things that you can do to plan ahead of time. Make sure your phone's charged up. If you lose power and you've got your phone, you can turn on the THV11 app and live stream the weather coverage that we have, that we're expecting to have here over the next few hours. There's the area of concern. I know there's a lot of colors there. We can pick up the strongest area of rotation, the live winds, and that is currently moving over Prescott, Arkansas. And there's the reflectivity. This shows you the very heavy rain. You've got a lot of lightning. The thunderstorm continues to increase. And right here, 371 Highway 30, Nathan, that appears to be where we're finding the greatest rotation within this cell.
Yeah, we're in between two radars, Tom, trying to get a view from the Little Rock radar and then also from Shreveport. So that's why the colors are kind of switching back and forth, because it just depends on where the radar is located will determine on what the colors are. But they're saying the rotation near Prescott has weakened over the past couple radar scans. I totally agree with that. They're still trying to figure out if they want to extend the tornado warning into Clark County. So southern parts of Clark County, be on your guard. This is still showing rotation, and it could make its way into Clark County. The good news is it has started to weaken. It's not certainly as tight as what it once was just about 5 to 10 minutes ago. But as you know, Tom, these storms go through cycles. They can cycle up and they can cycle down. They can cycle right back up in about 5 or 10 minutes. We have a shot, if we want to take it from Prescott, one of the RDOT cams, I believe, along I-30, just showing some heavy rainfall. If Roger, you want to pull that up for us, we'll take a quick look at it. The area. Okay, that's the area. I-30, this is I-30, of course, near Prescott, Arkansas. The area of rotation, as Nathan was talking about, is passing just northwest of Prescott now. Some very heavy rainfall, some very dark and ominous clouds out there with that tornado warned storm. Till 4:45, we're still about 9 minutes away, but the rotation has shown some signs of weakening, but may cycle up once again. This part of the state is under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock. We fully expect that southeast Arkansas will be extended through the evening, and when it gets dark, you know, folks, it's hard to find those tornadoes. We don't encourage folks to go out and chase these things. Leave it up to the professionals. And just real quick, want to point out something. You know, we've had an outflow boundary move through, or a mini cool front, and now that boundary is lifting back to the north as a warm front. So stable air to the north, more juicy
unstable air to the south. And like this box says, the greatest tornado threat right now is along and south of this warm front. Surface low pressure is going to be moving to the northeast, and that'll help push a front through the state. Some places already seeing the threat of severe weather backing off, but it's this quadrant of southeast Arkansas that does have the greatest threat moving forward tonight, including the cells that are in a line here getting close to central Arkansas. As we speak, severe thunderstorm warning looks like a new one, at least for Faulkner County, for Van Buren, Conway, Cleburne counties, and the box that we were talking about a moment ago. This is also the area where we find the strongest thunderstorms. We can tell by looking at the lightning. If you live in Heber Springs, Greers Ferry, Rosebud, you know, we typically don't break in for severe thunderstorm warnings unless we feel like there's going to be a tornado with it. This is more of a wind threat and a heavy rain threat. Might even have a little hail with it as this cell moves to the northeast. It is kind of bending here a little bit, Nathan, but it's in the stable zone. I don't anticipate a tornado here, but we could see some very strong wind gusts with that with this thunderstorm complex as it moves to the north.
Absolutely, Tom. Yeah, this is more of an elevated convection or elevated storm, so the cloud bases are not right at the surface, and that's why the tornado threat is very, very low for this part of the state because, again, you're much more cooler, you're more stable in this part of the state with temperatures into the 50s and 60s. To the south of the front, though, that's where we're watching. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Garland County into parts of Saline County. That does include you folks in Benton and also Arkadelphia. Still watching that potential. There could be a quick touchdown. They have decided to not go with a tornado warning for you folks into Clark County. They are going to go ahead and go with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible. So that's why we go from a red to a dark orange color. Don't let your guard down and think, hey, nothing's going to happen here in Clark County, because there could be a quick touchdown with little to no warning. So Gurdon, just be prepared. In fact, you might want to go to your safe place just to be on the safe side.
Right,
as this cell makes its way through Clark County, entering into Dallas County, and anybody to the east really needs to watch out for this cell and other cells over the next few hours.
Still 6 minutes away with this tornado warning expiring. Severe thunderstorm warnings now being issued out ahead. Like Nathan was reporting, these things happen quickly. We could get off the air and then get right back on the air with a tornado warning. Let me take this opportunity. We expect more storms that could produce tornadoes tonight, and we understand there's basketball on tonight, NCAA March Madness. Folks, we hate to break in, but if we're going to see populated areas of southeast Arkansas under the gun tonight, then it's our responsibility to break in and pass that information along to them. You can also join us on other platforms. We've got our THV 11 Plus app. You can live stream us from your phone. Download the app, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much appreciate that, Kevin. This is how you can reach us tonight. And if we feel like that the storms may weaken somewhat as they move to the east, we may dump out and go back to basketball, but we might stay on our platforms to make sure that folks are aware of what's happening around them. You can catch a severe weather, got plenty of ways to do so. Thank you for that. Tornado watch remains in effect till 7 o'clock, 5 minutes away from that warning expiring. Haven't heard anything, Nathan, on whether or not they're going to go ahead and let that go, right?
I think they most likely will let it go once it gets past their jurisdiction. Yeah, this goes for another 5 minutes. They can't cancel it any earlier than 7 minutes.
Okay.
But looking at this, let's take a look at Storm Track 11 once again, because let's take a look at the NROT tool. So we'll look at it here from Shreveport, and then we'll look at it from North Little Rock radar. There's the Shreveport.
Yeah.
So there's nothing as a bullseye. We're not seeing that area of green like what we saw earlier scans. More of a gusty wind threat according to this radar profile. Now we'll go over to Little Rock, and this is a little more difficult because it's not as clean of a signature. You saw that purple there on the rain part of the radar, but I'm not seeing anything as of really concerning at this time.
Yeah. Let's see, the segment that is north of Prescott maintaining its rotation, they're going to go with the tornado warning. They're going to continue with the tornado warning. So that really helps to narrow it down right there. North of Prescott, still with some strong rotation. And you're between radars here. Very difficult to see that, to see the spin. Just know that it's there. And if you live north of Prescott, if you live up in Clark County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. They may continue that tornado warning. They're going to continue with it, at least from the Shreveport standpoint, but still getting some very strong winds near Prescott, Arkansas. This crosses over to Clark County. Gurdon, you're up next. I want to say that's Bernie, Arkansas. I may be incorrect on that one. We got a lot of smaller communities. There you go. There's a more impressive look at the area of rotation within this supercell as it's moving to the northeast, roughly at about 50 miles per hour. Fairview, Curtis, Manning, Sparkman, Arkansas, Washita, Arkansas. You're within the polygon. That area of concern is moving to the northeast. Gurdon is going to be impacted directly. Where is Arkadelphia? Just to the north of Gurdon. Gum Springs north of Gurdon. But notice we've got, as Nathan was showing this a few moments ago, a spectrum width showing the chaotic airflow. So we are seeing some rotation within this area, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm just looking at different tools here, Tom, just to see as it enters from Nevada County into Clark County. So we're going to the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service out of Shreveport, issued that warning in Nevada County. Then it gets transferred over to Little Rock's jurisdiction. So that's why Little Rock said, okay, we are seeing low rotation, but not enough to go with the tornado warning at this time. That's why they went over to a severe thunderstorm warning for you folks in Clark County. Once again, don't let your guard down. Just because it's a severe thunderstorm warning does not mean this is not a dangerous storm, because it is. It can still produce winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. That alone can bring down some tree limbs and power lines, but also you just have to be aware of the possibility there could be a quick touchdown with little to no warning within that severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go back over to Max 1 once again.
Sure.
And you see this line is making its way across the state, Tom. Yeah. So probably until about 7, 8 o'clock, it's going to be locations in southeast Arkansas that really have to watch out for these storms as they race their way off to the east in almost like a northeast fashion, about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So it doesn't give you much time to get prepared for these storms. It's been quiet in southeast Arkansas throughout the day.
So far, yeah.
So rapidly changing weather conditions can be expected over the course of the evening, early evening for the most part.
Yeah. We're about a minute away from this warning expiring, and we will go back to network programming just to refresh real quick. That tornado warning till 4:45. Now a severe thunderstorm warning. Some pretty strong thunderstorms capable of some damaging wind, even the possibility of a tornado in this area. Southeast Arkansas, if you are listening to us in Pine Bluff, if you can hear us down in Monticello, Star City, Risen, a little bit later on this evening, it will be your turn, and I think those storms are going to get a little bit stronger as we head through the evening. Central Arkansas, Little Rock area, line of storms moving through here within the hour, probably during the news hour. We'll break in if we get a tornado warning, of course, and we'll keep a close eye on things as we approach 6 o'clock for March Madness. And with that, here we are. We're about 10 seconds away from that warning expiring. Again, you've got severe thunderstorm warnings with some strong winds north of Little Rock moving through Faulkner County, White County, Cleburne, Conway counties, and even severe thunderstorm warning down around Saline County, Hot Spring into Grant County, and that tornado warning that is now being allowed to expire into a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible, meaning it may be cycling down, but it could cycle back up at any moment. So we'll keep a close eye on this, folks. With a tornado warning now expired, we're going to go from here. For Nathan Scott, myself, Tom Brannon, we'll see you at 5 o'clock, hopefully without interruption, and give you the latest update on the weather happening here in Arkansas.